most recent homicide that is popping. Daniel Penny. Okay, Daniel Penny was a former Marine, or is a former Marine. He's not dead. He's a former Marine.
That's a good Marine.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Successful. High KDR. In fact, currently dividing by 0. Theoretically infinite KDR. Kill to death ratio. Yeah. Anyway, and he's added something to his kill to death ratio. Another body from the Marine Corps. This one was outside of the Corps in a New York City subway. He was chilling in the subway with all the other good people, more or less, of New York. And this homeless guy came in. Homeless guy started getting on some rah-rah stuff, telling everybody in there he was going to kill him and he was going to mess him up. And just so everybody knows, the line legally for being able to defend yourself with lethal force, i.e. kill somebody in defense of yourself or that other person, is if there is danger of life or limb. Limb includes rape. Limb includes...
That's not funny. I just never thought of my vagina as a limb. That's real weird. Continue.
Limb includes all organ damage, which means serious skin damage is an organ.
About like a finger.
I mean, I think if somebody's going to cut off your finger, one could make the argument that you could reasonably believe they would also kill you. I mean, you're starting off with a finger. You really don't care.
I like this.
Yeah. So, this guy's running around, the homeless guy running around, telling everybody he gonna kill him. And old Daniel Perry decided it was his time to shine. He went over there, put my man's in a chokehold, apparently held the choke for 6 minutes.
That's pretty good.
It's a long time. And then the police got on the train and that guy was dead. And
yeah. You held them as long as it takes to make 3 Hot Pockets. That's a long time. What?
Ate one of them already.
If he could survive, he was the Messiah.
Yeah.
What?
And so a judge, last time I read this, they were charging him with 2nd-degree manslaughter and negligent homicide. The 2nd-degree manslaughter apparently was dismissed by the judge. So now it is up to the jurors to determine if it was a negligent homicide or not. Now, negligent homicide simply means that a reasonable person, as defined by the jury, would have done a similar thing. If a reasonable person would have acted similarly in your situation, it is not negligent, it is reasonable. If they determine a reasonable person would not have done what you did, it is negligent, and therefore a negligent homicide.
What's reasonable?
That's truly for the jury to determine. The question in our legal system, a lot of the time is, do you think that's reasonable? If you were choking a guy because he had been threatening everybody, imagine all the exact same information. Maybe you find a knife. Maybe your heart rate's out of control. This is an extreme situation. Do you think you would have held that choke for 6 minutes?
Me personally, no, because I'm lazy. But if I could have, I would have. At that time, I'm going to want a cigarette. Maybe I have an itch. You really don't know. He was really committed to holding the choke, to protecting the people on that shit subway anyway. That was not his job. He was working overtime. He's retired, isn't he?
Yeah.
Still going around being a hero.
Agreed.
Active duty,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's still active.
Very.
Give that man a badge.
Yeah. Don't they need a new mayor in New York or whatever?
Yeah. The other one a criminal.
Make it this guy. He does not give up. 6 minutes. 3 Hot Pockets.
That's a long time to squeeze.
3 Hot Pockets. Yeah, 3 Hot Pockets worth of killing somebody.
That's a
long time.
Yeah.
You could even compare that to maybe a Stouffer's lasagna.
Boiling.
Yeah.
I think that it, in my opinion, hinges on if he is trained or not. Trained meaning in like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If this man has trained for more than like 2 or 3 months in jiu-jitsu at any point, this is straight up negligent.
I
Because
don't think so.
it doesn't take but, I mean, at most a minute of good squeezing. Really, probably more like 15 seconds of good squeezing for somebody to pass out. And we definitely know that if you hold that for too long, it kills people. 6 minutes. Like,
The more I think about it, it's not great for him. The more I think about it, the funnier it is. In 6 minutes, he was just there. And people somewhere like, 6 minutes is a long time to do that.
I think he down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Do you need some water?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a long
Dude,
fucking
6
time.
minutes. I mean, I challenge anybody out there to squeeze. Put something inside this crook of your arm. Set your arms up and squeeze as hard as you can for as long as you can. And before you give up, look at the timer. My bet is most people can't squeeze for above a minute.
Even easier than that. Think of how long we've been talking. That whole time he was squeezing. How long we've been talking about this story is how long he was squeezing that guy. He maybe just let him go. He was like, I think y'all are safe. They're all like, get away from us. People are ungreat.
So I mean I think it's kind of hard to argue it wasn't at least a little negligent unless he had zero training. Because if you're just in Marine Corps mode coming back from Iraq,
That's the other
6
thing.
minutes makes sense.
PTSD, whatever else. Maybe the moment he choked him, he like flashed back to Abu Ghraib or something like that. And he was just gone. You know, he'd seen his friends be blown up by IEDs or what the fuck ever else. And then he woke up, he was like, ugh, even worse, I'm on a subway. And now all this happened. I wish in cases like this, there was like a coin flip law in this country or something. Where it's like, look, we leave this up to the Lord. And then you like bathe the coin and only want to flip it, and that's his fate. You know, either you getting a quarter or you free as a dog.
The quarter has spoken.
Yeah, because I would feel bad. I feel bad being on the jury. You know, you don't want him to just walk around like I wouldn't want him walking around with nobody knowing he did this. You know, like you'd want to know a guy that choked somebody for 6 fucking minutes. You don't want to just find that out in the PTA meeting or whatever. You're like, yeah, Damien's dad did what? I don't want him around. But you know that it's a lot. You can't just erase that. But at the same time, he's already done so much for this country. Like I said, he's working overtime, active duty still, even though he's retired how many years? Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. He's seen shit. Leave him be. You know, he was probably just trying to go like get his tux pressed or something.
Right.
I don't fucking know. And then he was like, great, now I have to, kill a terrorist again.
Now, I mean, I guess you could also think about it this way. Would he have been well within his rights to pull out and cap that dude? Or to hit that guy with
I
like
don't
3
think you
deep
can say that,
stabs?
though. Well, the stabs, sure. But the gun thing, you know how complex that conversation gets. He endangered other people and what the fuck ever else. If you're just firing in a fucking subway, that does, that's not great.
Right, but I guess imagine that the same outcome happens. No bystanders are hurt, and he kills the dude. Is that...
I want it to be a knife just so it's not all messy.
Okay, yeah, it could be a knife. But pick a different method of... He has a rock.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And he smacks the dude 4 times in the head with it to get him to stop.
Yeah.
Would that have been deemed okay? Probably. If you dismissed a manslaughter charge already for it, and we're down to just negligent homicide, then the mediating factor is the duration that he held the choke, it seems, as opposed to anything else.
My problem with it as well, on top of that, is there's not really enough details for me to feel secure in making a decision of whatever this guy's name is, how guilty he is. Because I wasn't there. What if a homeless guy came in with for some reason fake C4 strapped to his chest? What did he do?
Right.
That incited such a reaction from this former Marine or whatever. He clearly wasn't drunk on malt 40 I'll kill all you. That's not a threat to anybody. He must have been doing something, acting in a way, and maybe he gestured towards someone, grabbed somebody. You don't fucking know. If he grabbed a little girl or something on the bus, or started walking towards some or anything like that, I could see, he incited the dragon, and then the dragon held on. and took
Yeah.
him to the sun.
I think that given what we know about it, we can 100% guaranteed say that if we watched the video,
Yeah.
the video would show that this homeless fella was incredibly dangerous seeming
That's
at a
what I mean.
minimum. Like, he made people feel imminent danger and fear for their
Like
lives
for
and
that,
limbs.
for that reaction, absolutely. He
Yeah.
must have been coming in like swinging a katana. I'll kill all you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Yeah, something.
So, yeah, and I guess, sure, the choke is the problem, or is a problem, but if at the end of the day, a guy's dead who it was perfectly reasonable to kill,
Right.
like, should you go to jail for that? Like, just because you
I think
choked
no.
him?
I think no. But this is a problem with our justice system. Like, if someone found the Boston bombers before they set off the bomb and shot them in the back of the head, like just a civilian, they'd be like, well, why'd you do it like that? Like, it wouldn't even be they saved the whole marathon. You know,
Right.
we look at the details, you find details, and we don't, ever care if garbage was eradicated that day. It's how you eradicated the garbage.
Right. Yeah. Was that a legal eradication?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's tough. I will say, I'm not like a fucking jujitsu master or anything, but I did enough jujitsu and have choked probably 4 people to sleep in my life, such that every single time I can confidently tell you I knew when they were asleep.
Yeah, they go limp.
And
If you
everybody,
watch enough UFC, you see that.
right, and everybody who's ever choked me to sleep has immediately let go, and because they
That's a
feel
courtesy.
I went limp.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But that's
Like-
what you get when you're a good person. People let go. That's what this case hinges on.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that he didn't let go. I don't think it does. You know?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And I guess the other thing is the guy was probably dead at 3 minutes. So what if he had let go at 3 minutes? Would that change
was
things?
dead at 30 seconds from an overdose. And this is just an unfortunate situation for the guy who was holding on to him.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Perry.
That's why they won't release that fucking homeless man's records. They'll be like, don't release that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not on trial
We
here.
don't think that's pertinent information.
I will say, I personally hope he gets off, but I would not scoff at it's a 4-year maximum for a negligent homicide. I wouldn't scoff at that. I would go, that I guess kind of makes sense. It was a long hold.
Like I said, I want him off. I want him free. I just want people to know what he did. We need to, like, mark him.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 6-minute on the neck. Everywhere he go, people need to ask him, wait, what's that about?
Just brand killer across his neck.
No, protector.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
But it's just 6 minutes. You have to know. You need to know this story. Everywhere he goes.
Got a pin on like an A or something
Yeah.
like that up here.
Everywhere he goes, maybe. He has to do it like a sex predator.
Oh,
He
check
goes
in.
to the DMV and he's like, I, Daniel Perry, had choked a man in 2024 for potentially 6 minutes.
Yeah, allegedly.
He's like, could have did longer. Yeah. I don't know, something. But he doesn't need all this nonsense in his life.
No, he doesn't.